Hi, this is Sonya with Artsy Solutions, and welcome to the hashtag How Do You Do Art challenge, and it's hosted by Sharyl of the Whole Bucket. And there are a group of us ladies who are collaborating, and we're going to do what's called Meet the MasterBoard Maker May, where this month we're going to be making some MasterBoards from just whatever, whether it's paper scraps, junk mail, envelopes, whatever, MasterBoards. And also it's a good way for you to meet your maker, or if you wanted to get to know me and know things about me, we have like a list of questions and Q&A, and a group of us who were in the collaboration, we kind of compiled different things that we just wanted to know about each other, anywhere ranging from where do you find artistic inspiration, or do you have a signature style? Do you have a style that you wish you could do better? We have like a whole list of questions. So, and the goal for this month is for each of us, we can answer some, 1, 2, however many, or all of them if we wanted to. So, as I craft, I'm going to respond to some of these, and I'm not going to read each and every one of them in this video. As I go through my other videos throughout the month, I'll answer some more questions. And if you guys have any questions that you want to know about me, or I would like to know some of these same things about you as well. So for this particular video, of course I'm just going to be making a MasterBoard, and I'm going to start out using let's see, of course I'm going to use some of my Amazon packaging. I love it. I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to take some of these scrap papers, and we're just going to glue them on there. And sorry for all the background noises. I think I'm going to make just a really small MasterBoard. This is, that way I can kind of constrain myself, because I know how I am. When I start crafting, I get ahead of myself, and I make too much of a mess. So I have like a group of scraps. I just grabbed one, and I'm just going to glue. I'm not even going to think about it. I'm just going to glue on some of these. Some of these are double-sided pages, and some of them are just whatever. And I'm just going to start gluing them on. So the first thing I see, where do you find artistic inspiration? Oh, I find that in a lot of different things. I find it, of course, on social media. Of course, like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, different places like that. But I also find it in junk mail. Sometimes, you know how you get advertisements and stuff like that in the mail, especially around holidays. And they have some of the neatest packaging, and packaging is also where I get inspiration. Even with your craft supplies, they have really neat stuff that comes, in your packaging. And I like to keep it, and I'm just like, I think I'm gonna use that in my craft. And craft packaging, just different things. I find inspiration from people I work with, all kinds of stuff. So one of the other questions, let's see, how did you get started in paper crafts? Years ago, we had a Hobby Lot, a Michael's in a nearby town. It was before we got one in my town. And I've always liked drawing since I was a kid, like in elementary school. I remember we were in elementary, and we all got to do some drawing, and the winner would get a Snickers bar. And it came down to me and this other little girl named Beata, and I don't even know what happened to her later in life, but she ended up winning. But I was happy for her. But she had drew, it was a little house, and that's when I first started learning shapes and how shapes can create things. Because you know how you have like a house, You have a square and you have a triangle over top of it. And that's when I started learning, oh, this is so neat. I can make instead of my house looking like just a regular square and a triangle on top and the little chimney, she made it have extra little, you know how your little regular houses look like that when you're a kid, you know. Well, she added the extra details on there, you know, that gave it dimension. So I was just like, oh, that's neat. And I kind of copied off of her, I'm not gonna lie. But that's kind of where I started with my, how I got started with my paper crafts. And then when we got the Hobby Lot, the Michaels, of course, it just opened my eyes to a whole lot of different things. So, because that's when I really started, it's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing with with Michaels, because, man, I didn't know when to stop, because I wanted to do literally everything. I wanted to do beadwork. I wanted to do scrap paper stuff. I wanted to make cards. I just wanted to do everything. And I was just like, every single aisle I went down, I was just like inspired by. And so then I started having to, you know, I would watch videos over and over, and then I would learn about different tools and things. And of course, you know, I wanted some of them. But yeah, that's kind of where it started out at. So let's see. One of them, when is your most creative time of the day? I don't have a specific set creative time of the day, because just whenever it's kind of quiet at home, like my son's at school right now, and so it's not too noisy, and I can just get some time to myself without interruption. Where I live at now, we're kind of, it's a busy highway, but it's not as noisy in regard to like sirens and things like it was at my other house. So any time of the day is a good time when I have time to craft and I don't need to do anything else and I'm off work. So any time of the day is a good time, you know. So let me put this here. But yeah, and I think that's all I'm going to answer as far as Q&As. But if you guys have some questions that you want to know about me, or I would also like to know about you guys as well. Some of the same questions I asked. What about you? When did you first start crafting? You know, things like that. I want to know about you too. So, but right now I'm going to focus on this MasterBoard. So I'm just going to put some music on and I'm just going to start gluing. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry a little bit. Actually, before I even let it dry, I'm going to, you know, I got to add some sprinkles of some type of mixed media on here. Okay, so I'm going to use what I usually don't do, and use colors that I haven't really used a whole lot of. I mean, I do like these colors. You know, the little pink and the twisted citron and the speckled egg. I have a whole lot more of this left than I do any of my other colors. So I'm just going to rub some of these on my mat. And we're going to get some colors. We're going to see what we can do. Now the speckled egg. Oh, this isn't the distress ink. Hold on, that's my regular one. Let's see, do I have it? I might have it in storage. I think I've got it in storage. It's okay. we'll just use these two as far as Distress Oxide inks. And then, you know, I gotta have another color like dark black or brown or something to kind of complement it. So I'm just going to spray each color and dilute it, and we're just going to put our little spatters on, or if it'll go on there, little spatters. You can see it. You can see it a little bit. Not a lot, but I bet you'll be able to see this black pretty well, and that's fine too. Oops, like some Jackson Pollock going on right there. Okay, so we're gonna let this dry, and after it dries, I think I'm gonna take it to the sewing machine just to get some different little stitches in there, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so here's our little MasterBoard, and I'm just going to trim these edges just to make them a little bit straighter. Okay, I like that. Great background. You can do a lot of things with it, and I'm probably going to I don't know what I'm going to do with this MasterBoard because it's gorgeous. I think I'm going to make a tag out of it, because you know I can't just leave it in its natural state. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to round off the corners, and I think I'm going to glue it to I like this actually. I think I'm going to glue it to the back of this other piece of Amazon packaging. I think, do I want to leave it as single, or do I want to? I think I'm going to leave it doubled up like that. I'm going to glue it to this and stitch around the edge. I think I'm going to round off the corners as well. So let's just glue this together. I'm going to go ahead and cut it down to size. Okay, and then I'm just going to distress the edges, and I'm just going to use some alcohol ink. And that has become my go-to distressing tool. I mean, I use other inks and stuff to distress oxides and other inks and stuff as well, but I love how it leaves more of a pronounced edge, and that's what I go for. Usually it crosses over and goes through to the other side as well, but it didn't. Like whatever you're distressing, like if you have thin paper, like just regular copy paper or something like that, material that's really thin like that, and you distress one side, it usually goes through to the other, and you don't have to distress the other side. But I'm cool with it though, because there's still plenty left on here, so make sure we get some of that up in there. And I could leave it like that, but you know, since I said I'm going to make a tag out of it, I'm going to cut this. And this is basically just that Amazon packaging. I think I'm going to glue these two together, and then I'm going to turn it into the tab that it is up here. I might add something else down there, or I could just leave it. I think I'm just going to leave it because this is MasterBoard. It is a MasterBoard. And then I'll make something else out of it on a different video, because I will like I said, I don't know when to just stop. I go too far. So yeah, this is my hashtag how do you do art, meet the MasterBoard maker May, and I made a MasterBoard right here, and we're going to make something out of it on another video. So if you have questions that you would like to know, if you want to know anything about me, personal life, anything, just ask me. And if you want to share some of your stories, your crafts and inspirations and things like that, please feel free, because I would like to get to know you. So once again, if you're new to my channel, thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe and check out my other videos, blog, and social media sites. And as always, I thank you guys so much for watching.